You shouldn't use a knife to strike your ferro rod. Hey folks, I'm out here doing my little survival video. If you haven't seen that, I'll put the link in the card up here if YouTube still does that. I wanted to just briefly talk about ferro rods and how to use them real safely. So, everybody knows the whole knife thing, right? That's how you use a ferro rod. In my opinion, you shouldn't use a knife. You shouldn't use a knife to strike your ferro rod. The reason being is there's a it sounds stupid, but it's true. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're using something sharp, you're holding something sharp, you run the risk of hurting yourself. You probably won't, you're probably not an idiot, but this is one of those cheap little Coghlan's ferro rods. I've had this thing for years and years. It's started hundreds of fires, and you can see it's all worn out. This is just a little bottle opener striker. Came with a different ferro rod, but still, just leave that bad boy on there. That strikes a mean spark. Don't have to reach for my knife. Don't risk losing my knife because I dropped it, because I have two separate things. This is contained, this is together. I think this is the best way to use a ferro rod. It's the best system for it. Secondly, I have an orange whistle on mine because if I drop it, it's bright orange and I can find it. If you don't have something high vis on your ferro rod, what's stopping you from throwing it on there? Secondly, ferro rod versus matches versus a lighter. A ferro rod will last the longest. If that's what you're concerned about, it's won the argument. I think it's also coolest, but I think a lot of people also think it's cool, but think it's kind of old school and rustic, and oh, you're starting a fire with just a spark. But it's pretty modern technology, relatively speaking. So unless you're doing the bow drill method, or one of the multitude of other methods, unless you're doing a genuinely old school method, like with flint and steel or a bow drill, etc., there's no point limiting yourself to using a ferro rod when you can bring a butane lighter. Just gonna work great in the wind. Or a pack of matches. Bring a pack of matches, waterproof. And inside, I have the little striker. Do that. This little pack of matches, the waterproof container that was like $2, also has a little ferrocerium rod on the bottom. As I grab my knife, which see, that's pretty useless if you use a knife. There we go. It's kind of finicky because it's so small, but it's there. That's not bad. This little pack of matches, not a bad thing to have. Yeah, I mean, it throws a spark. The thing is, I'm scraping off more plastic than anything. So, whoever designed this, the ferro rod's there as a gimmick. But it's a great idea, and it could be used practically if make the ferro rod a little bit big. If you made the ferro rod a little bit bigger and you made it stand proud, because it's sunken in. It's not even flush, it's sunken in. So you really have to get something that can go in, because if you use, say, a knife and you scrape across, all you're gonna get is plastic. But that'll throw a spark. So those are my thoughts. Keep a striker with your ferro rod. Keep something high vis. A whistle is just a great thing to have. You should have a whistle anyway. So boom, 2 birds, 1 stone. And then no reason not to bring some more modern dollar store toys.